es el más macho. In the red corner, he steps in wearing black trunks trimmed in gold and weighing in at an official 142 pounds. As a pro, he maintains a record of 12 victories along with 4 defeats, 3 draws, 7 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Guatabampo, Sonora, Mexico, Gustavo Davido Corral. His opponent across the ring in the blue corner steps in wearing red trunks trimmed in white and blue and weighing in at 147 pounds. As a professional, maintains an impressive record of 46 victories along with 6 defeats, 1 draw, 42 of his victories coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC lightweight champion of the world. From Empalme, Sonora, Mexico, José Luis El Temible Castillo.
The very fine referee Pat Russell will officiate this main event tonight. You can see that Corral is shorter. He'll have a shorter reach, and he is in very tough against a very fine former champion. Here's how they shape up. Castillo's 29, Corral the same. 5'7", 5'8". Well, Castillo's got at least 3 inches on him. 147 to 142. The poundage is off a little bit, and in the reach department, Castillo with a reach of 70 to 69. The rules governing fights here in California: 3 knockdown rule not in effect, no standing 8 count. Saved by the bell in the last round only. The referee or the doctor can stop the fight. If there's an accidental foul, headbutt, etc., duly noted, they'll go to the scorecard after the start of the 4th. Scheduled for 10, Pat Russell's ready, and here are the 2 welterweights as they come out. We talked with Castillo yesterday, and of course, I would imagine Carlos Hernandez and Fernando Parmo, there's nothing worse than the announcer saying former WBC lightweight champion, which means, I guess, guys, that he's pretty much through with the lightweight division, isn't it?
He might be. But you know, he still has a name recognition.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, that's what keeps him on the top of the charts with the possibility of a fight.
Yeah. And he's only 29, and he told us that financially he's all right. Thank you, thank God. And
he's not like Bill Gates, he said.
That's right.
He's not
close,
like Bill Gates.
He's a Mexican Bill Gates. I said, let me in on that. I got to practice Spanish because Jose let me in on that. And there's talk, of course, where would he go? Well, he would like to fight, I think, get a victory here tonight, and then go on and post another one or so. And he'd be a very viable guy for somebody like maybe Gotti at 140 pounds, huh?
Great fight.
Or Costazu, or maybe Shambe Mitchell, or somebody like that.
Well, this is a guy that has never been down, so you know, you can tell that he has a tremendous chin against a guy like, in this case of Corral, that has been knocked out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weight difference size. I think the tape lied a bit.
Well, let me tell you that I'm going to tell you right now that as Castillo stands there in that ring, he's very close to 155, 157 pounds, and Corral can't be much more if he's 142 or 45 or something. He's got to be a 10 to 15 pound advantage for Castillo.
Well, I think what Gustavo has to do right now is just outbox him, try to use his speed, and go to the body. It doesn't look like Castillo's been working the abs,
no
sit-ups.
No, I don't think he has. He hasn't really been in the ring as a fighter. 2 fights since the Mayweather loss, the second one, which while the first one was a very tough loss for him to, you know, swallow. He actually thought, as did a lot of ringsiders, that he'd beaten Mayweather. The second fight, Mayweather was just way too much, and Castillo couldn't even find him. But, you know, if he's in there over 150 pounds, I know he's not cut and buffed, but he looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Because of the size.
Yeah.
I think he's closer to 5. What is he listed at?
5'8", and I think he's 5'10". Yeah, he's a very big welterweight, and he's got a punch. He's got 46 wins and 42 knockouts, so this guy can hurt you.
The one thing on Corral's favor at the beginning of the fight is that he's known to be a slow starter.
You mean Castillo?
Castillo.
Well, the crowd kind of getting on him. I think that Corral is hopeful that that Castillo doesn't get excited and get hit and then just knock him out of here. At any rate, you can see that a handful of seconds remain in this first round. Corral is in not only a tough fight, the biggest of his career, and what a tough one it'll be to win. There's the bell coming up to end round 1.
Does your family have a disaster plan in the
Val brings him out for round number 2. Jose Luis Castillo in the red trunks trimmed in black. Very nonchalant and looking about in a very confident manner between rounds. He gets a right hand shoved up against his jaw by Corral, but he really wasn't impressed with Corral, who the shorter of the two men, and I keep repeating myself, and shame on me because he's in very tough tonight.
Well, I think Corral is doing the intelligent thing. He's punching and then grabbing.
They asked him in the during the minute of the rest. They says, you know, how does he feel? He said, this guy has nothing.
Yeah. That was Castillo speaking. And of course, Castillo, you know, probably going through this is just kind of a routine workout. Another little something in the gym. He hasn't fought since he fought Mayweather. And of course, his loss to Mayweather was a year ago. So,
well, Corral was, he says he's in good shape. In fact, he said he was in the best shape of his life.
oh, he was coming after you,
Yeah.
Famous. He was coming after you. Remember 3 weeks ago, he was the guy that wanted to knock you right out from under your title as IBF 130-pound champion.
And he said that a fight in Carlos would not be any easier.
He's been working hard in the gym, training hard. He is dedicated to this fight, no matter who was on the other side of the ring, taking some solid shots to the midsection, and you can see the strength of a Castillo who could have almost picked him up by the arms and moved him around. This is a very powerful guy, Castillo. I don't know if he's the quickest of all the welterweights, and when you put him in with a guy that weighs 147 or thereabouts, you know.
See, now the name, people know him. People expect lots more from him. So now they're going to be pressuring him.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, here's the former champion in against a guy who has a record of 12-4-3. And they expect it's good night.
Let those hands go.
Gustavo.
Step out.
Well, Gustavo is a dedicated, tough guy. And you have to give him credit climbing in the ring. Anybody who puts on those trunks, puts on those gloves, and gets in the squared circle.
Definitely. And what's so funny about him is that, like I said, he's doing the most intelligent thing. He's trying to punch and then grab Jose Luis Castillo.
He got hit with a pretty good shot. He landed a pretty good right hand to the jaw of Castillo, and Castillo hit him with a left hand that might have been just well down in the neighborhood of Sonora. Certainly south of the border, my friends, huh? Did I say hello tonight and best wishes to all of you fathers who will be celebrating a big day tomorrow? I hope it's a marvelous day for you as you're surrounded by your children. I hope you're taking good care of them. Oh, yes, and our friend Chris up in the high desert country. Got kind of a captive audience out there. Great fight fans looking in tonight. Round 2 is over.
Imagine.
633-3100.
Bell brings him out for round number 3. It's scheduled for 10. Jose Luis Castillo in the red trunks trimmed in white, and in the black and gold, that's Gustavo Corral. Might check the scorecards with my two men here. We've gone through 2 rounds. Castillo 20, Corral 18, says Fernando Carlos. Would you be surprised if it turned up for Carlos 20-18? Yes, indeed.
Fernando's looking at my scorecard.
Let me tell, well, yes, Fernando would do that a lot, you know, but let me tell you, they're watching the same fight. I can tell you that.
I never do that with Vince. they were telling Corral that is the fight plan. He says, you have to take those punches, receive some punches. They're after a Rocky type style.
Well, Corral is kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. He's got a shorter reach. He's a shorter fighter. And maybe he could get inside to negate the strength, the power, and the obvious reach advantage that big Castillo has. But it's easier said than done to get inside. Of course, once you fight him at long range, he's going to get nailed.
What we haven't seen is a Castillo attack.
Not yet.
You're carrying him pretty much.
No, I think the man is going through the motion pretty much.
Yeah, I think he wants to get in a few rounds.
Yes, a little workout.
Yeah, he's been, like you said, he's been inactive for a while.
That's a nice workout for him, and I don't think he thinks he's going to get hurt, although he got nailed with a pretty good left hand. You know, for a man who's had as many great fights as Castillo and a former world champion, you look at him, he's totally unmarked, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not been hurt. He's not been been cut up.
And not only that.
Oh, he's a big baseball nut. Sue Stratton, our producer-director, reminds us that he's a big fan of the Mexicali team in the Mexican League, and in fact sits on the bench, works out, takes batting practice, etc., and says he's there just in case a fight breaks out.
And you know
He
what?
likes to suit up for that.
He means it.
Of course he does, I'm sure. And his Mexicali teammates are probably saying, way to go, Jose Luis. Well, he's beginning to exchange now with Corral. They're beginning to tee off on one another as best they can.
Anybody that is a Mexicali fan is a fan, because you're looking at about 130 degrees in the summer, or in the winter it's about 40 with a 40-degree wind.
It's
Left hand chopping one, caught Corral right up alongside the right side of the jaw, and down he went. He had hit Castillo with a couple of pretty good punches, and now the count is up, and Pat Russell says, come over here. Are you all right? Corral said, yeah, but tell the big guy to quit pounding on me. So here we are in round number 3, and Castillo seems to have warmed to the task, but the bell saves Corral.